I'm Sarah from The Upcoming. Such a pleasure to meet you.
Sarah.
If you could just kick off with a brief introduction to what people can expect from this new series and tell us a bit about your role in creating it.
Well, I think that fans in this new series can expect spectacle and emotion and the kind of storytelling that they're familiar with if they've seen the Lord of the Rings films or read the books. And if they haven't read the books or seen the films, I still think there's a world that will entice them and pull them in. And as the composer for this series, I'm doing my part to sort of envelop you in the world, to chip away at your suspension of disbelief and really make you feel like you're in Middle-earth.
And what's your process? Did you start from the previous films? Did you go back to the books? Did you start kind of from a fresh sheet of paper? Where did you begin?
In a way, I started from a fresh sheet of paper because the books and the films are so ingrained in my DNA, having read them and seen them so many times. I actually was nervous about being too derivative. If anything, I needed to take a breath and get some space and imagine what I love about the book and the films and those scores that Howard Shore wrote and draw it in and then write something in my own voice that felt authentic using all those things that I love.
And can you talk us through some of the influences or some of the instruments? What were some of the logistics of putting it together?
Well, the logistics were off the charts. We had a huge orchestra here in London, recorded for every episode, choir in Vienna, soloists sort of around Europe and Los Angeles, and the scale of it is incredible. But I also got to bring in some really interesting instruments. The ones I was most excited about were for the orcs, where I found some players that play flutes and woodwind instruments made from bones, mostly animal bones. One, they said, was a human femur, and antlers and conches, and they would blow into them and create these otherworldly, horrifying sounds. And to me, it almost sounds like you're hearing an orc in the distance with their war horn, but it's in the score. So stuff like that, even though we had this huge orchestra, in a way, sometimes the most inspiring is just finding the one person who plays something unusual.
And ultimately, what do you hope people take away from watching it, in particular, being transported in addition, by the score itself?
I hope people don't notice the score at all. I hope they get pulled into Middle-earth and feel like they're there for an hour at a time, and then the next day start whistling something in the shower and it's Galadriel's theme and they don't even know it. That's my hope.
Fantastic. So lovely to chat to you. Enjoy the evening.
Yes,
Thank you.